So let me try to share my screen. Share screen. Google. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Chin, can you see my screen?
No. Yes, I see.
All right. So this is the first exercise that we're going to do. So we are going to be using these words over here to fill in and fill in these sentences with the correct words. Does that make sense? We are going to be using these words to fill in these sentences. Does that make sense?
Now
Hello?
we feel
All right, let me try to write it down. Let me try to write it down for you. So we are going to be using the words on the left to fill in the sentences on the right correctly. Does that make sense?
yes.
Yes.
Tin?
Yes.
All right. So back to, can you see?
Yes.
Yes, I see.
All right. So for the sentence number 1, how do things float on top of the water? What do you think is the right word here? What do you think is the right word? How do things float on the of the water? What do you think is this word from these words? What do you think is the correct one?
I don't feeling.
It is hard.
Is 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 it too difficult?
How do you think flow
Is it
on the mass of the water?
okay? The correct one here would be
Afraid?
Right.
how do things float on the surface of the water? Are you guys familiar with the word surface? Okay. With the word surface. Do you know the word surface?
Mm,
Are you familiar with the word
eternal.
surface?
Eternal. On.
The surface is wait. So that I can explain it to you better.
Yeah.
Shallow.
Có phải miết.
So the surface is can you still see my screen?
Yes, I see.
It is the outside part or uppermost layer of something. Does that make sense? It is the outside part of something. So the surface of your body is the skin. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when we say the surface of your body is this. So the
The
surface of
the bone.
no the bone the bones
Bone.
the bones are inside
The bone is từ làm một dòng. Tại mày á.
so surface means the outer part of anything. Does that make sense?
Outer part of
Does that make
anything. Oh, yes.
all right?
Yeah.
So in this
Outer.
example, can you still see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I see.
All right. So the question here is, how do things float on the surface of the water? So as we know, the outer part of the water, things can float on top of it.
Cái mà bề mặt.
Things can float on top of the water, which is the surface of the water. Does that make sense?
The ball.
Yes, a ball can
Ooh.
float
Ooh.
on top of the water.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Bowl.
Oh, okay. Boats can float on top of the water
The water.
surface.
One
Does that make sense?
can float on top of the water surface.
Does that make sense?
Ví dụ Tính ơi.
Does it make sense?
Yes. I got it.
Tin, does it make sense?
Tính ơi.
Tin, does it make sense?
Yeah, yes. Is it the surface of the street?
All right, that's fine. The second one. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see.
So we finish the rest of the sentences. We're going through the meaning of each and every word. Then after that, because I figured that maybe you don't know the meaning of these words, so we are going to explain each word one by one.
Yes.
All right. So the first word here is rapidly. Rapidly. My screen. This just means rapidly. Means quickly or at a fast pace. Does it make sense?
Rapidly.
Yes. Try to say rapidly. Rapidly.
Rapidly.
All right. So,
Rapidly.
so when it comes to these sentences,
Ai mở lá.
So this one, the perfect example here would be sales grew dramatically as the company expanded rapidly. Does that make sense? Can you see the example?
I don't know mean grammatically.
All right. Wait, let me search it for you. Dramatically. So this would be the correct version here. Does that make sense? So dramatically means by a strikingly large amount or to a strikingly large extent, greatly. So another word for dramatically is greatly, to make it easy for you.
No amount.
Does that make sense?
Greatly.
Yeah, yes.
Different. Yes.
Do you understand greatly?
Yeah, yes, I understand.
Extremely.
So another word for dramatically is greatly in this instance. So you can say in this example, sales grew greatly as the company expanded rapidly. Does it make sense now? Does the example make sense now?
Yeah.
Good. Does it make sense? Grew, it means grow. It's past tense of grow.
Proud of.
Grew is past tense of grow. Does that make sense?
Past tense, yes. Mean
So
production.
do you know what sales are? Do you understand? So do you now understand the example? Sales grew greatly as the company expanded rapidly. Does it make sense now?
Yes.
Tin, does it make sense?
Dramatically. Self-pro dramatically. Then do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
As the company expanded rapidly. So did you understand the meaning of rapidly?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Rapidly.
You don't understand?
Yes,
Rapidly
I understand.
means quickly or at a fast pace. Alright, that's fine. So the next word is hurricane. Have you ever come across this one? Can you still see my screen?
Yes, I see.
All right, so we're looking at this word. It's hurricane. Have you ever come across it?
No, sorry.
Do you know this one? All right,
Storm.
hurricane.
John
Yes,
John
perfect.
Swigley.
That it's a storm. Yes, that's fine. That's correct. Tin, do you understand that?
I don't know.
Tin, do you understand
Bão
what a
á.
hurricane is?
Bão.
Yes. I
Hurricane.
understand.
Wait. Can you see my screen?
John Windy. John.
Can you see this? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
So this is what a hurricane looks like. Does it make sense now?
Hurricane.
Does it make sense now? Tin, does it make sense? Can you see the pictures?
I don't see your screen.
Okay, I don't know what's going on. Can you see now?
Yes. It's
Tin, can you see?
really scary.
Tin, can you see?
Anh thấy không?
Can you see Tin?
Yes, I
Yes.
see picture.
So this is a hurricane. This is what a hurricane looks like. These are the pictures. So that's what a hurricane looks like. So now that you understand, let us try to use this and put it in the right place. Hurricane. So this one would go
Hurricane.
here.
Hurricane.
So can you see the example on my screen? Strong hurricane is expected to hit the East Coast this evening. Does that one make sense? Does it make sense? Or it's complicated?
It is expected to hit the East Coast this evening.
Yes. Does it make sense? Do you understand?
Yes.
All right. Tin, do you understand the example? Tin,
Hay hỏi tính kìa.
Yes, I understand.
can you see?
Yes.
Is there any words that you don't understand that you want clarification on?
Yes.
Word from the example that you don't understand.
I understand on this work.
Teacher,
This one me.
I can I talk to Ngon for a bit?
Alright, that's fine.
Chị Ngon, cái mà thầy nói trong cái ví dụ là cái ví dụ nào ạ?
Cái ví dụ John Hurricane á, cái thứ hai đó.
Nào, không thấy.
John Hurricane is expensive. Cái từ trên 1, 2 nè, cái thứ hai.
Anh không có thấy luôn á. Anh thấy
Thấy màn
có cái
hình không?
từ mà anh không thấy màn hình chia sẻ của thầy.
Teacher, tính
Yes.
tính don't see your stream.
I only
He doesn't
my
see my
teacher.
screen.
I only my teacher, but I don't see my screen.
You can see me, but you can't see the screen.
Yes, I see teacher,
Alright.
but
So
I don't see screen.
Bên tính này bị
let me
gì
try
rồi?
to share it again.
Thấy có mỗi thầy không thấy
Let me
ai.
try to share it again.
Không thấy chị Ngân luôn à?
Tôi chỉ không thấy
Now,
màn
can
hình
you
của thầy
see?
à.
Can you see
I
now?
log out. I log out.
Alright, try to log out, then log in again.
Yes, I see my screen.
Can you see the screen now?
Yes, I see.
Alright. So the first word we did was surface, and we explained that the surface, this is the first word we did, surface, and we explained that the surface is the top of anything. So the example was, how do things float on the surface of the water? The surface of the water is the top of the water, where a boat can float, where a bowl can float. So that is the surface of the water, the top of the water. Then we did rapidly. Rapidly means moving fastly or at a fast pace. So the example word was, sales grew dramatically. We say dramatically means the same as greatly, as the company expanded rapidly. Do those make sense so far? Do you understand so far? Do you have any questions so far?
So far, I understand.
Then the third example was hurricane, and the hurricane was the one I was showing you in the pictures. Do you remember the hurricane?
Hurricane. I understand hurricane.
So our example now is, strong hurricane is expected to hit the East Coast this evening. So do you understand that example as well?
Yes. Yes.
All right.
I understand.
All right, that's fine. So now we're moving on to the next word, which is valuable. Can you see this word?
Yes, I see.
Valuable
Look.
it is something that is worth a great deal of money. Does that make sense?
Anh không thấy màn hình của thầy à?
Thấy.
Bữa sau đây
Great
share anh.
deal
Share hai cái màn
of
hình luôn.
money. Does that make sense?
Means to yes, I understand.
So, Ngan, do you understand that? Do you understand the meaning of valuable?
Yes. Valuable.
All right. So now, yes, well done. So now I'm going to find the example that it is supposed to be used in amongst the sentences. So,
Political, historical.
it is supposed to be here. So, can you still see my screen?
Yes, I see your screen.
So, can you see the example? That diamond ring
Diamond.
is extremely valuable. So, be careful with it. Does that one make sense? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nhẫn kim cương thì rất là quý giá. Cẩn thận với nó.
Did you understand every word?
Yes. Diamond is
Tim?
very essential.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, that's the example. Yes, well done. Now we're moving on to global warming. Have you ever heard of global warming?
Global.
Global.
Global warming.
Global warming.
It happens in science. Meaning.
It is global warming.
So it is the rise of average temperature of the Earth's climate system. This is a science term. Global increase in the Earth's temperature because
Temperature
of an increase in carbon dioxide.
because carbon dioxide.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Carbon dioxide.
So it's carbon dioxide.
Carbon dioxide
All right. So do you now understand what global warming is?
Điều 2.
Do you now have an appreciation? Then, do you now understand what global warming is?
Carbon dioxide.
Do you now understand what global warming is?
Yes.
All right. Can you still both see my screen? Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I see your screen.
All right. So now I'm going to put it in the right sentence. Then we go over the example.
I
The
see
warming.
Does that make sense?
Glaciers levels the ocean stream up to make the global warming.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Gun, does it make sense?
Yes.
All right. Then we move on to the next word, evidence. Do you know what this one means?
Evident.
Evidence is proof or
Evident.
acts that are physical. Does that make sense?
Everyone is God.
Gosh, bằng chứng à?
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes.
Good. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Alright. So, using these examples,
I will write down.
alright, it's fine. Write down.
Writing. You don't have evidence.
I think guilty because you don't have evidence. Okay, you would say, I think he is not guilty because you don't have any evidence against him. Does that make sense?
Helen. Yes.
I think he is not guilty because you don't have any evidence against him. That would be the correct way to say it. Does that make sense? So here, our example. Can you still see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, yes. I see your film.
Tin, can you see my screen?
Yes, I see.
All right. So the example here using evidence is all the evidence show that dinosaurs existed in the past.
Hush.
Does that make sense? Does that one make sense? Does the example make sense? Can you understand the example?
Example. Can you understand? Yes, I can.
Tin, do you understand?
Dinosaur is a big animal.
Yes, that's true. From the past. So they don't exist anymore, but it is evidence in the form of bones that show they did. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
On.
So let's move on to the next one. Do you still see my screen?
A kiss.
Do you see my screen?
Yes, I see your film.
Tin, can you see my screen?
Yes, I see.
So we are now doing escape. Do you know what escape means?
Escape mean running off.
Yes, well done. To run away. Tin, does that make sense?
Tự trốn thoát á.
I don't know, for example.
All right. Escaping means to run away from a place that one is locked up. So, for example, the
Escaping means to run away from a light. They have looked up.
After robbing the shop. Does that make sense? The thief ran away after robbing the shop.
Sự chạy thoát, trốn thoát á, của ăn trộm á.
So you would say,
Yes.
so
I
you would say
understand.
the thief escaped after robbing the shop.
He kept
It's one and the
robbing
same thing.
the shop.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So from these sentences, this one would go here. Despite all the measures
All
taken,
measures
two
taken.
prisoners were able
Prisoner.
two prisoners were able to escape from
Prisoner.
the prison. Do you know what prisoners are?
Yes.
All right. 10. Does the example make sense? Despite all the measures taken, two prisoners were able to escape from the prison. Does it make sense?
Yes.
All right. Then we let's move on to an easy one. Let's use this one for now. Melt. Do you know what melt means? Do you know what melt means?
Lydia.
Huh?
What do you say again, please?
Melt.
Nộp tan chảy.
I miss it. I
All right.
understand.
That's a good
Ice
example.
cream is melted in my head.
All right. Well done. Well done. So from these, can you still see my screen? You would say the sun will soon melt the ice. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The sun will soon melt the ice. Chin, does that make sense?
Yes. Understand.
All
Trời thì
right.
sớm làm tan chạy băng.
Then we move on to this one. This is our next one. Consequences.
Like
Can you
Consequences.
see it? Do you know what it means?
Is
Yes. Try.
they never likely me in their plans.
You said include.
Include
Was this the one you used?
In lieu.
là
No,
gì
but
ta?
for now, let's use
Bao gồm.
consequences. Let's use
But if you
consequences first.
during the 80s, there was a include equal in a level 4.
That's for steady. But I'm saying now let's use the word consequences. This one. Do you know what it means?
results.
Consequences.
For example, I think
Did you say results?
if I studying serious, I think consequences.
Did you say results before?
I go study.
All right. Yes. So consequences are sort of like the results of an action. Consequences are the result of an action. That makes sense? Does it make sense?
Yes.
So here you would say, if you don't do what I say, you will suffer the consequences. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good? Does it make sense?
Yes.
If you don't do what I say, you will suffer the consequences. So you can say, you can substitute consequences with results. Does that make sense? So you all understood, right? Does it make sense? Does the example make sense?
My gosh, is yes.
All right. All right, that's fine. Now we're going to use include. So, Tin, what did you say before about include?
Include
Gồm. Gồm.
7. They never include me their pen.
Do you understand what that means?
My family include my mother, father, and me.
Yes, well done.
I understand, for example.
All right, so include basically means
Contain.
part of.
Part of.
All right, let's move on to the last two. Likely. Do you know what likely means?
Likely.
Likely mean expect.
Expect.
Yes, likely means
Expect.
probably.
Probably.
là tùy.
All right. Does that one make sense?
Probably results.
So, where do you think between these two likely is supposed to go in this example and this example? Where do you think it's supposed to go? Is it supposed to go here or here? Is it supposed to go here or here?
Likely,
It's a play that I will watch over time tonight.
All right, well done. So that is the correct one. It is likely that I will work overtime tonight. 10, does that make sense?
yes.
All right.
Trong
Then
bị
steady.
bao gồm steady during the 80s.
All right, that makes sense. Steady
For
means
example,
so it's during the 80s there was a steady increase in the labor force. Does that one make sense?
steady, hard,
So steady means
hard,
regular
Out.
or balanced or not shaking. Does that make sense?
Steady.
Constant,
Chắc.
content,
unchanging.
không thay đổi.
Unchanging, meaning it changes
Opening arrow.
slowly. Does that make sense?
Không thay đổi. Unchanging.
Yes,
Does
I
that make
got
sense?
it. Yeah, yes.
All right. So
Có nghĩa
during
là
the 80s, there was a steady increase in the labor force, meaning the increase in the labor force was slow. Does that make sense?
yes.
All right. So could we try to now they have closed some of the examples. So let's do each sentence one by one again. So we said for the first one was how do things float on the surface of the water? Can you try to say how do things float on the surface of the water? Just one time. Can you try to repeat that sentence?
How do things float on the surface of the water?
Well done. Good.
How do things flow on the surface of the water?
All right, well done. The next one was a strong hurricane is expected to hit the east coast this evening. Can you try that one, Tin?
Strong hurricane is expected to hit the east coast this evening.
Well done. Good.
John hurricane is expected to hit the east cold this evening.
Well done. Next one was, if you don't do what I say, you will suffer the consequences. Tin.
If you don't do what I say, you will suffer the consequences.
Consequences.
Consequences. Say
Consequences.
consequences. Well done. We'll try it one more time. Consequences.
Consequences.
Well done. Again, your turn.
If you don't what I say, you will suffer the consequences.
Well done. The next one is, the sun will soon melt the ice.
The sun will soon melt the ice.
Well done. Again.
The sun will soon melt the ice.
Well done. The next one. Sales grew dramatically as the company expanded rapidly. Tin.
Sales grew dramatically as the company expanded
Rapidly.
rapidly.
All right, well done. Good.
Several dramatically the company expanded rapidly.
Well done. And the next one. They never include me in their plans.
They never include me in their plans.
Well done. Good.
They never include me in their plans.
Right, well done. Next one. During the 80s, there was a steady increase in the labor force.
During the 80s, there was steady increase in the labor force.
All right. Try to say force.
Labor force.
Try to say force. Yes, well done. Good. Your turn.
During the 80s, there was the steady increase in the labor force.
All right, well done. The next one. It is likely that I will work overtime tonight.
It's likely that I will work overtime tonight.
Well done. Good.
It is likely that I will work overtime tonight.
Done. Then the next one. Rising sea levels is also an example of climate change due to the global warming.
Rising sea levels is also an example of climate change due to the global warming.
Well done. Good.
Rising sea level is also an example of climate change due to global warming.
All right. Well done. The diamond ring is extremely valuable, so be careful with it.
The diamond ring is extremely valuable, so careful with it.
Try to say valuable.
Valuable.
Valuable. Yes, well done.
Valuable.
Good. Your turn.
That diamond ring is extremely valuable, so be careful with it.
Right. Well done. The next one. All the evidence show that dinosaurs existed in the past.
All the evidence show that dinosaur existed in the past.
In the past. Try to say
Past.
past.
In the past.
Right. Well done. Right. Well done. Well done. Good. Your turn.
On the evidence show that dinosaurs existed in the past.
Right. Well done. Then the last one. Despite all the measures taken, 2 prisoners were able to escape from the prison. 10.
Despite all the measures taken, 2 prisoners were able to escape from the prison.
Try to say despite.
Despite.
Then say measures.
Measure.
Well done. Then escape. Escape.
Escape.
Well done. Good. Your turn.
Despite all the measures taken, 2 prisoners were able to escape from the prison.
All right. Well done. Well done. So we'll end here for today. Well done. Tomorrow we'll do another exercise like this, where you practice your English speaking skills plus the vocabulary. So well done for today. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, see you tomorrow.
Goodbye,
Alright.
teacher.
Good night.
See you tomorrow. Thank you very
Alright.
much.
All right.